Ladies and gentlemen, what's happening? Gordie Tamayo back at it again, and we're going to jump into course creation. So, if you've wanted to share your knowledge and package it up in a way that people could either purchase it or part of a free offering for lead gen or just to, really empower your community, etc., people that follow you, courses are a cool way to do that. And so, different ways to do it because obviously a 50 module course is a lot more difficult to consume than one that's a lot shorter. And especially if you're at a phase that maybe you haven't established yourself with people and they're not going to soak in that much content yet, then it's something to contemplate on how you package up your stuff. But nonetheless, courses are cool. They're a cool way to share your knowledge and to share the resources within the course itself, um, to your community and people that are really hungry for knowledge. And so, despite what some people might say, courses are still hot. Courses are still valuable. People still value the information if it's packaged up correctly. And so, let's jump in here, and I want to show you how we can get one started within DU. Okay, and so as you can see, coming up here, we are in the membership area. So on your dashboard over here, left hand side, you're going to see memberships. This is where you'll initially see a couple different features, right? Your client portal, which is kind of the holistic platform where people will be able to access the community, courses, etc. All right. And I won't get into this other part. We'll probably do a different video on creating your community, etc. But if you're watching this, then you're probably in one of our communities and watching this video. But nonetheless, up on the top here, you're going to see courses, and there's a couple things to differentiate between an actual course product and an offer, which I'll get into in just a second. But let's just go click on courses here. Okay. It's going to take us to this landing page here, and I'll move myself out of the window here. Get me 2 seconds to move my screen over here. And actually, I'll leave it there. It's probably the best place there. Anyways, all right. So from this standpoint here, now you got a couple options here. You're not going to see anything here if you're doing this for the first time. There's nothing in this. Obviously, this is a demo account, etc. But we're going to go in here and we're going to create, a course for the first time. And so to do that, just go to products, and then we're going to create a product. Okay. A couple different things I wanted to mention about this, because some people use other platforms such as Kajabi, and if you have Kajabi, you do have the ability to import your courses from Kajabi if you're trying to get off that platform. You don't want to pay for it, etc., because it can get pricey on Kajabi. We actually have somebody that recently was doing that, importing their stuff over from Kajabi. There are some nuances to that. There's actually a help doc in there. We're not going to get into that right now. We're going to just start from scratch and build an actual course. Okay. Now within this, there's a couple different options on what kind of course. You could do a sprint course, which, like the name alludes to, it's something to be really short and sweet and concise, and meant to get people kind of a taste of what you're doing, lead them into something else like a membership gateway, etc. Marathon course, this is going to be a little bit more in depth, right? If you want to build one from scratch, you can just do it from scratch. Don't got to worry about it. The other ones are templates, okay? And then the membership, we're not going to get into this piece right here. We're just going to jump into a sprint course. I'm going to hit start. We're going to name this, and let's call it, DU test course, okay? And right off the bat, it's going to bring us to an overview. This is really like a curriculum. Okay. So for anybody that's been into education, or you've created lessons before for maybe a presentation, etc., it's a very, very same type of format. Okay. You have your main header or your subject, if you would. And then beneath that, you have your different lessons. Okay. It's the best way to look at it. So look at this first section as a module. Look at these second sections as your lessons. And then you can even drill down a little further if you had subsections or sub lessons within a lesson. Okay, and we can show you how to do that too. As you click this little plus button, and you'll see you can get the option to add a lesson, add a subcategory, add an assessment, add a certificate. You can even do certificates, which is pretty cool too. Depending on your niche, depending on the population that you're serving, people actually do like the certificates. They like the recognition, and something to consider depending on your audience. Okay. All right. So let's go through this real quick. We're just going to say that within this section here, the course contents, obviously it's just a defaulted name there, but you can click on that, and then here you are inside of this particular section where you can rename it. Okay. So I'll just rename it this. Do you test module 1? You can give it a description. Okay, within it, obviously you'll be able to put what lessons or what contents within this. You can minimize this as much as you want or expand upon it. You probably want to have a category thumbnail here. I like to have some imagery for each one of these categories. It just makes it look better. Okay. And then on the visibility section up here, as you can see, you have the option to publish it, put it in draft mode. You can lock it for anybody, for your members, until the selected post is completed. Okay. So it's kind of like setting this up where they have to do the previous one in order to unlock the next one, etc. And then the drip mode here, this is where you can determine how long this is going to be active for once they start it. So if it's like a limited time that you're leaving this course open, this is where you would put that. So if it's like 30 days, you put 30 days, and it would basically trigger this to be available for 30 days once they start that. Okay, and it's from the date that they actually kick it on. So let's just I'm gonna leave this in draft mode for right now. We're gonna save this, and I'm gonna back up here. All right, so as you can see, when I clicked on this here, it showed the contents within this module. Okay, so it's same as the previous screen, but you can just drill down here if you need to. You could do it from here as well. All right, so if I wanted to go into this one, I could go into this lesson, and then from this lesson, you can do whatever you need to do. You could attach a file if you got a PDF that you want people to be able to follow along with. Obviously, you want to give some kind of a description here. And the nice thing about using these templates for the sprint course, or the other template that was there, is that it kind of gives you a little placeholder to help you out and tell you what you want to put in here. Obviously, you don't need to have what this is. It's really just a guide to help you figure out what to put in here. But you can upload a video that you've recorded. If you want to do audio only, you could do that as well. Okay, and then you would just save it. All right, go back, and the same thing. You go to the next lesson, do the same thing. So on the next lesson, you could do whatever you need to do. Here's a little bit of a guide of what you could potentially do. Same thing. You could upload a video. You could upload an audio. Make sure you title your lesson accordingly here. And then upload a thumbnail for this particular lesson if you want. And add your attached files, whatever you want to add here. There's a limit to 5 gigs on here, but most of the times if you're going to be adding an attached file here, it's typically going to be like a PDF or some other guide or image that you want to go along with said video up here, or audio if you have audio. Okay, and then this operates a lot like what you would see with Word, right? Like you can put images in here, you can embed media content like videos if you wanted to or whatnot. You can change the formatting if you got tables you want to piece together something in there as well. Custom values is another thing we won't get into right now, but if you had custom values, you could put these kind of shortcuts in here, obviously embed link, etc. And so if you're into code and you want to do custom edits, you could do that in there as well. But pretty much operates a lot like what you'd see within Word, really easy to use. Okay. Outside of that, you can leave this in draft mode or publish it. Really doesn't matter a whole bunch, because if you're not publishing the whole thing, it's not necessarily going to be visible unless you're sharing the link and whatnot. So either way, just save that. And then you're going to just move on down the path here until you get to the end here. All right. Again, if you want to add a different lesson, right, let's just put do test module 2. Okay. And as you can see, there's another lesson here. But if we want to add another, category here, then you can do that too. So product structure, we're going to create a category. And I should have done this for the category, not the lesson I meant. So DU test module 2, and it's going to put one right here, as you can see. Okay. And if you need to drag any of this stuff around, you can, right? Like you can switch stuff up where you need. But now, so as you can see, this is a different section now. Okay. And within this section, then you can add the lesson, right? So add lesson 1, module 2, let's just say, just so you can see it. All right. And I'm going to rename this lesson X module. You get the picture. All right. Pretty simple stuff. Okay. Now, the cool part, aside from getting your structure out, because this is how you're kind of laying out your structure for your lesson that you're going to be doing, your course, right? You can come up here and you can actually customize some of this stuff here. So under the details section, you're going to see this is the actual name of your course that you had. You want to have some kind of description on here because when you share it, it's going to show this description. Obviously, a product thumbnail is going to be nice to have, and I'm going to show you an example of one that I created just a little while back, and we're working on for test purposes. On the customization side of it, you can upload, another image here that's going to be viewable within the members area, within their library. So, for example, when somebody uses the app or is on the web landing page for your community, this will be visible within that section because they can see what courses they're signed up for within that location. Obviously, you can put your name here if you got a headshot, etc., and so on and so forth, right? Favicon is the little icon that shows up on the top of your browser. So if you got a logo for your business or your course series, etc., that's where that's going to go here. And it gives you the preferred dimensions of what those should be for that, okay? In the customization side of here, this is where you can mix and match up the look and feel of it. So as you can see, it gives you kind of a preview of what these particular ones look like right here. And if you want to preview it, you can go ahead and pull this up. Obviously, we don't have a whole lot of content in here yet, so it's not going to show us a bunch. But as you can see, it's just got the name. Doesn't have any of the lessons in here because I didn't publish them. You have to publish them for them to be actually visible within this section here. Oh, and I just realized I was talking and you can't actually see this screen that opened up. Okay, so on the screen that opened up, it basically shows this, right? This picture that you're seeing, but there's no content because we didn't have it published. All right, but if you wanted to customize, any of this stuff, you can actually click on that, and then within this section, you can kind of customize the look and feel of what this looks like with changing colors, fonts, the background if you want a different image, etc. The header kind of remains what it is, but the rest of it you can customize here. All right, so if you want to change up the look of it from the layout, but this gives you a pretty cool preview of what this would actually look like to the person that's actually going through the course. Okay, the learner that's going through the course. All right, so let's back up out of here. And okay, so again, you can play with these different styles if you want to kind of see what they look like, etc. Okay, but I think this was, let's see, which one was I looking at? I think it was that one, right? So I'll pull this one up for real quick so you can kind of see what they look like. And yeah. So header, background, lesson body, right? It's not pulling up the image on this one for some reason right now, but maybe I need to clear my cache. But nonetheless, you get the point, right? I think this might have been the one I was looking at. No, that was the other one. Okay. But as you can see, you can change the layout and whatnot, right? Hero image, etc. Play around with it as you see fit so you can get it to how you like. All right. So that's that section. Now the other part that I was mentioning earlier about a product versus a course. Okay. So a product is one way that you share your course or your particular item within DU. But an offer is going to be something that you package, publicly on its own, I guess is the best way you can look at it here. So within offers here, as you can see, it says I don't have any offers yet because I haven't created one. But if I was, I would, title what this is, and then you can click on this and it'll show the ones that you have actually created, right? The courses that you have created. So if this one was the one I was going to be doing, then I would pick that one, determine whether or not this is going to be paid for or free. In this case, I don't actually have a payment gateway attached to this account, so I can't show you the difference of creating an offer here with this that's actually paid for. But nonetheless, as you can see, it's defaulting these ones to free because I don't have a payment gateway set up for it just yet. But nonetheless, if I was to share this, okay, I'm going to copy this link so you can see what this one looks like, this other course. And this is what a person would see if they went directly to that URL. Okay, they could enter their information and automatically takes them to the checkout process and pulls them right into the course. Okay, their information, their client information goes into your CRM. That's how that works out. Very similar for a paid structured as well. Now, if you wanted to, include something like this within a funnel, let's say, that's the other option you could do. So I'll just take this test funnel just so you could see. And Actually, let's use a better one. This one kind of looks really slim because I was taking stuff off it and using it for another example. But let's just say we'll create, one from scratch here, and let's do business masterclass. Sure, why not? Let's do this one. Okay, we're gonna use this template just to kind of give you an idea of a way that you could share, the course and whatnot. Okay, so it could be a funnel like this, or it could be a full blown web page that's a little bit more complicated if you want to get there. But nonetheless, find out where you want to put the piece here. All right, let's just add a section here. And let's do, well, here's a cool one. So in the pre-built sections, you'll see a list of items here, right? And one of these is a product section, right? So you can play around with this one. This one's kind of cool. Let's use this white one. Okay. And I'm gonna get rid of this. So here's where you'd be able to put the actual, picture that you want there. This is where you would actually put the URL. Okay, so get instant access, and we'll just say website URL, and bam, I'm going to put that URL to that there. We're going to open this up in a new page. Okay, obviously you change the numbers and all this stuff. This would change depending on what your pricing is or whatever for that particular course. Okay, but then let's preview this. And actually, I need to pull it up in this window. All right, so if I went to that, boom, so the website's here, right? And then you see the product right here. They see this, they click on it, and let me open it in this window again. And this is what pulled up right here. Okay. So that's one way that you could share the course. Okay. So if you were making a landing page, let's say, that was specifically around this course, then obviously everything in here could be directed around the course. You could talk about the different modules that are within the course and break it down, right? You could talk about, guests that are featured on it potentially if you have other people that are going to be featured on it. You might have a downloadable option for a PDF guide and whatnot, right? So there's so many different things you can do. It's really kind of based on your creative limits that you have on how you could package this up. But I just wanted to give you an example of one way that you could actually share this on a funnel or on a web page built within DU and then connect it to that particular offer. Okay. So again, you would want to make it as an offer. You create the product and then you do what I showed you with an offer, which let's back up and show you that again real quick. All right, and back up out of here. All right, so we're gonna go back again to where we were at with memberships, right? Courses. We created a product, right? And our products, it was this one right here, DU test course, right? So once you make it into a product, you're gonna turn it into an offer, right? And as I mentioned, you do create offer, give it a name, select which one it is, turn that bad boy on if you're going to be charging for it, etc. And that's how you do that. Okay. Now I want to show you the back end of one that's a little bit more complete here. So I'm going to show you this one that I put together, and I use the same type of format. If I remember correctly, I even used the sprint structure for this. So as you can see, I got a category or section for module 1, module 2, module 3, so on and so forth, all the way down. Okay. And in each one of these, I have different lessons within them. Okay. And just so you can see it within each lesson, it's just a video that I uploaded. Okay. All right. And I'm walking you through the lesson. On some of the lessons, I have PDF guides that I attach to it, etc. And that's really the structure for this that I did for this particular web page. And as you can see, lessons for each one. At the end of it, a final message and kind of a plug for Digital Unicorn. And what else do we do? Oh, for this particular course, we did a calculator, if I remember correctly. Oh, here it is. Yep. So we did a calculator here, and this calculator gives them a pretty cool calculator. I've used it for years, and it's basically for profit loss. You could use it for events, you could use it for planning different things, but has all the pages built out for it, the different sheets, and it's automatically calculates numbers for you. So it's pretty cool. But you can do stuff like that. You can link it to something outside of here if you have it there, or you can embed it within here if needed. So many different ways that you can kind of mix and match this. All right. So what else did we miss here, if anything? I think we got everything that I was trying to get at here. Let's see. Other than adding a certificate, I didn't add a certificate to this, but just to give you a preview of what that looks like. If you wanted to make a certificate, then obviously you'd have to have one already created. I did one here just for test purposes, but the way you would do that is up here under certificates, and then new. You could use a template or create one from scratch if you got one. This one that I did for a test, you can see there's nothing fancy about it. It just looks like this, but you could do something fancier than this, I'm sure. You're much better graphic designer than I probably am. But yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell, that's what it is. Some other details that you can do around courses, if you want to really customize what this is looking like and want, a custom domain set to it, you can do that kind of stuff as well. And so that's an option. I won't get into that just at this second, but if you had, certain things you wanted to customize your membership site to so that people can go to it, I do have that customized in my actual account. But if you have a domain, you can just create a subdomain like learning dot etc. Right? And then you just add that in your DNS settings, and that would be your actual custom domain for your client portal section, right? To get into your community and all that stuff. So that's another thing to consider. And outside of that, I wanted to stick with going through courses on this one. Obviously, you can look at analytics from it as well to see how many people are going through that course and whatnot, and you can kind of track that kind of stuff. See your revenue in a snapshot. But really, for this particular purpose, the main thing that I wanted to show you was how to get into a course, how to create that from scratch, right? Determining what kind of course outline that you want, which is this. And then once you get into that, right, you're looking at this structure right here. You structure this out in overarching categories, right? And lessons. You could do subcategories if you want, right? You could do, I'll just do this so you can see, right? So as you can see, I put the test one here, and you can drag and drop these as you see fit. So if it's a subcategory of this one, you can do that as well. And it looks the same way. So once you jump into it, it's very, very similar. It's meant to be a little bit less robust than the main lesson though. So obviously you're going to see a little bit less of the content within here. Okay. But you can add an assessment, you can add a lesson to this if you need to, etc. There's still stuff you can put within this, but it's a little bit less robust because it's a subcategory. But that's how you do that. And then the customization features that you can put in here. The offer section, I already went over that. The comments, obviously, that's kind of self-explanatory, right? But you can determine how you want people to be able to engage and interact with this, right? Do you want to allow people to comment on it? Yes or no? Depends up to you. It depends on the audience, etc. But you can give that option and hide it or enable it, etc. It just depends on what you want to do. All right. And outside of that, I think we got it all set up. But the last thing with the pricing piece. As long as you have your payment gateway connected, you can set up the pricing for it. Like I was mentioning, as you can see, I don't have a payment gateway set up on this demo account. But in a nutshell, that is the logistics of how you do it. You got to make sure you have these published in order to see the preview of what it looks like. So let me go to this one real quick, and you can see this one's already published, right? So all these lessons and categories have been published. So if I did want to customize it, I can get a little preview of what this looks like by clicking on that preview button. And let me open it in this window because it popped open in another window. But this is a preview of what that would kind of look like with that particular template. Okay. And as you can see, somebody clicks on it, right? Or if they click start up there, this is what it looks like, right? They're able to see the content. That's why I said it's good to have a description here. Gives them a little preview of the module, and then they can play their video or download their PDF if you had it attached, etc. So all that stuff is there. But that's kind of how that looks like. Let me show you a preview of the other template with a full course in here so you can just get a feel for what that looks like. I do like this one. I think it kind of looks pretty clean, but really your preference on whatever you decide you want it to look like. But here's a look on this one. I like it because it's, you know, almost like you read a book. It's kind of how it reminds me of, or on Kindle, etc. But operates the same way, right? People can expand this. They can see the modules that are within there, or the lessons within the modules, etc. Right? And so if they need to go through that, unless you have it locked in drip mode or whatnot, they can just go wherever they need to go and go through this, etc. Right? You get the point. All right. Cool. Well, I hope that was helpful for you. I hope that excites you, and seeing that creating courses are really not that hard. It's really just getting the upfront content piece together. If you're somebody that's okay with getting in front of a camera, then awesome. Video is a good way to do that. Creating your videos depends on how you're going to record that. You could use StreamYard, you could use Zoom, you could use Teams, you could use any um, screen recording software to be able to record yourself sharing on the lessons. Or if you're a little bit camera shy, that's okay too. You could even do it via audio. And so if you have any questions about, best tools and tips for how to record yourself on video or audio, please reach out to me. It's definitely an area of expertise for us. It's our forte in the media space. We'd love to give you some tips and help you do that to the best of your ability. So without further ado, it has been phenomenal, and we will catch you on the next one. Catch you later.